not a politician. I'm a mother. I raised 6 children. I have 25 grandchildren. I have 4 great-grandchildren. The day that we got the phone call that my daughter had been murdered, I'm sure you've heard this before, but I was in Kentucky. We had a grandbaby that had passed away. And when I got the phone call, the detective said, Mrs. Morin, we found your daughter's body. At the time, all I knew was that my daughter was dead. When I went to meet with the detective and we had come back from Kentucky, I was told that she was beaten so badly that her body was blanketed in bruises, that she was strangled, that she was raped, and that she was stuffed into a drain pipe. The person that they alleged did this was an illegal immigrant from El Salvador that was a gotaway. He had already, they already had an Interpol warrant for him in El Salvador for murdering a woman. He had attacked a 9-year-old and her mother in California, and he waited on the trail that day that our family has walked for 25 years and dragged my daughter off the trail and did these horrendous, brutal things. This is what she looked like before that day. Oops. She's a beautiful woman, but more than that, you can tell from looking at her just the light that comes out of her. She was a happy person. She loved her children. She was a hard worker. My daughter is like so many other American girls that go about their life and they're just caught unawares from behind, dragged off the main road, trail, whatever, strangled, raped, murdered. Some have been found, some have not. I realized that deportation and illegal immigration has become such a big issue, and rightly so. We have Americans that are dying every day, and law enforcement don't want to give you the true numbers because they don't want the public to panic. In our town, we've had 2 murders by illegal immigrants. Maryland is a sanctuary state, and we have sanctuary cities. I was last told that crime in Maryland has increased by 850% over the last 4 years. We have over 54,000 convicted criminals, illegal immigrants that are criminals in our country at this very moment. I think deportation is necessary. The American people should not feel afraid to live in their own homes. When I was 14 years old, and I don't know if anybody knows this, but when I was 14 years old, a criminally insane man came into my house, kidnapped me, made me walk 60 miles towards the Canadian border while raping me at night. I have some idea of what it's like to be a victim of a violent crime where law enforcement did not believe that they were going to find me alive. So I have some understanding of what my daughter suffered. And when I was at that funeral home and saw my daughter's body, because the case, the hearing's not until April, I can't tell you in detail, but I can tell you this one thing, that my daughter suffered so terribly in a very brutal and violent way. And these type of immigrants should not be in our country. And because we have open borders, and because everyone is allowed in, and because the law is not being carried out at the borders, if they had done a DNA swab, the 3 times they encountered this person that's allegedly accused of killing my daughter, they would have known that he had an Interpol warrant for murder in his country. We need to follow the laws that are already on the book. We need to close our borders. We need to protect American families. We need to protect our women and children, which are the most vulnerable in this country. And I do understand the economics that everyone is talking about. I do understand the military position. but I think that you should put American citizens first. We are the ones that pay your paycheck. We are the ones that pay taxes. We are the ones that believe that when you went into office that you were going to keep your word and that you were the man or the woman for the job at the time that would uphold our values. We are a constitutional republic for the people, by the people. We, the people, have put you, the people, into office. And you should be doing everything you can to protect us. That's why we put you there. A thought that I had just today coming on the train over here is that when you look at a tree and you say, oh, that's an apple tree, you say that because you see that their apple is the fruit that's growing on the tree. It's the same thing with a man's character. It's by your actions that a person knows what their character is like. And I think one of the reasons why 87% of Americans voted for Donald Trump is because they have seen the character by the fruit that President Biden and Kamala Harris have produced these last 4 years. Thank you.